Hello everyone, welcome back to Autognizant channel. In previous video, we have seen how to write XPath, absolute XPath and relative XPath. We have also seen some XPath expressions as well as XPath functions, and we have also seen how to write them. In this video, we are going to understand what is dynamic XPath and how to write dynamic XPath along with how to handle dynamic XPath in automation framework. To demonstrate this, I'm going to use a demo query website and web tables page. I have already opened Chrome DevTools. So what we are going to do today is we are going to understand dynamic XPath. So for example, I have this web table which is having 6 columns: first name, last name, age, email, salary and department. What if I want to verify the department value for each user? Here the first user is Sierra, and for this user the department value is insurance, right? For the second user Alden, we have department value as compliance, right? So to find out the department value for each user, we have to write dynamic XPath. So let me first identify the properties for first name column. Here we have first name called Sierra. So this is part of a div HTML tag. So I'm going to use /div inside brackets text is equal to Sierra. So I'm at first row of the web table. Now I have to reach to the department, right? Then I have to use following sibling, right? Following sibling div. Now it shows me 1 of 6. So there are multiple divs like last name, age, email, salary and department. So department is the 5th one. So I'm going to hard code this column value as 5. So it will give me the value called insurance, right? Now for if I want to verify the department value for Kyra, then I just need to replace this Sierra with Kyra. If I do this, then I will be able to locate this department value as legal. So in this example, the dynamic test could be the first name of the user. So based on the first name, we are going to locate the department column value and we are going to verify that. So this is called dynamic XPath in Selenium. Some people call it custom XPath as well. So this is a very simple example. Now I'm going to explain this dynamic XPath with the help of Autognizant framework. Before we dive straight into it, I strongly recommend to watch Autognizant Demo Project Implementation because this is the foundation project for all of our Selenium examples. So in this video, I have explained how to write Cucumber feature files, how to write page definition classes, and how to write page object classes. Without further ado, let's dive straight into it. To demonstrate dynamic XPath, I have prepared dynamic XPath demo.feature. So in this feature file, I have prepared 2 scenarios. Scenario number 3 is to validate only department value. So in this example, I am on web table page and I verify that department data is displayed properly or not for each user. And in scenario number 4, we are going to validate the entire table data is correctly displayed on the web page or not. I want you guys to guess how many XPaths do we need to write in order to verify this entire table data. So I have already prepared a feature file and I have already prepared page definition classes. In steps package, I have prepared a web table page steps class, and in this class, I have prepared a step definition methods. And I have also prepared web tables page. In the web tables page, I have verified table data method. Currently, these methods are blank. So we are going to write Java code in order to validate this web table data. Along with that, I have also prepared a JSON file in object repository folder in order to write our dynamic XPath. In this step definition, we have a data type. So I am passing this entire data as a part of data type. So first of all, we need to fetch this information and provide it to step definition. So how to provide it to the step definition? How to provide this data to step definition? We have to convert this data into hash map. So I am going to use list of, because there are multiple rows, so I'm going to use list of map of string comma string data is equal to data table dot as maps. Okay, so I'm just going to print these values just to make sure that we are fetching the value appropriately. So for the first row, let us say first name is equal to data dot get 0 dot get the column name. Column name is first name. Similarly, I'm going to print last name. Then, oh, here we have only two, first name and department. So I'm going to use department. Let me remove this. All right. So let's run and verify this data is properly printed or not. So to run this, I'm going to use a run cucumber test class. I have already mentioned the tag at AC auto -3. So this will execute scenario number 3. So we can see it is properly printing the first name and the department, right? So I need to change this. It should be department over here. Now what I have to do, it printed only the first row, right? I have to repeat this process for remaining 2 rows as well, right? So I need to run this piece of code inside a loop. So I'm going to use for each. Now for each data row, I have to repeat this process, right? So I'm going to create a function which will accept the first name, and based on the first name it will verify the department value, right? So verify department value. So in this example I'm passing the first name and expected value. All right, and I'm going to create this method inside a web tables page. So currently this method is not available, so it's giving us an error. So let's okay, first of all let me create variables for storing first name. I have to get the first name value. Now this is a map, so first name is equal to map dot get. We have to provide the column name, that is first name. This will give me the first name value, and the expected value is the department value, right? Map dot get department. All right, this method is unavailable, so I'm going to create this new method inside web tables page, which is having two parameters: the first name of the user and the expected value for the department, right? Now in order to verify this, we have to write a dynamic XPath. To write dynamic XPath, we are going to write our XPath in object repository. In that object repository folder, we have created a web tables page. Now this page is empty, so I'm going to copy one of the sample element from the login page and paste it over here, right? So I'm going to name this web element as department text, right? So this is a text. I can use web element type as label, locator type is XPath. Now we are going to copy the XPath which we created earlier. So this is the XPath. I'm going to copy and paste it over here. Now, as we discussed, our first name is the dynamic text, right? So it's going to change every time. So for the first row, the name will be Kyra. For the second row, the name will be Sierra, and so on, right? So what we need to do over here is, instead of this hard-coded text, we have to use word called dynamic text. If we put a word dynamic text over here, the Autognizant framework will replace this dynamic text value at runtime, whatever the value that we are going to pass to this web element. And for the department value, we have hard coded the column number, that is 5. So 5 column belongs to department, right? So this is the simple dynamic XPath, and to replace this value dynamically, we have used a dynamic text. All right. Before we verify the value, we need to first capture the actual value, right? So actual value is driver dot get element text. Now here we have two methods. First one is get element text with single parameter, that is web element name, and the second get element text is with two parameters, the web element name along with dynamic text, right? So here we have to provide the first name as the dynamic text, right? So what is our web element name? Department text, and the dynamic text is our first name. So this will give me the actual value for the department column for the user first name. Right? Now I have the expected value, I have the actual value. Now I can simply put a test-ng assert dot assert equals, so the actual value is actual and the expected value is expected value, and the message is if this value doesn't match, then we can say department values is not correct. We can give some assertion message over here. All right, we have created a web element in JSON file with dynamic text. Then we prepared a method in web tables page, verified department value. Then we prepared a step definition method as well. Now from here we are calling verify department value and we are passing two parameters. And this process will be repeated for each row in the data table. So let's run and verify what we get. So I'm expecting that it will verify the department value for each user. In the next example, I hope you guys might have guessed how many XPaths we need to write in order to validate the entire table, right? For verification of single column, we have written one XPath, and you might have guessed we need to write 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 XPaths to verify the values for 5 columns. If yes, then you might be wrong. We can write single dynamic XPath in such a way that we can verify the entire data table. Now this time we can see our test passed without failure, and we can see in the console output that it verified the details for each department. I have provided the links in the description below for Dynamic XPath Part 1 for Autognizant Demo Project Implementation from scratch, and I have also provided the GitHub source link for this video. In the next video, we will be discussing about how to write complex dynamic XPath and how we can validate the entire web table with the help of single dynamic XPath. Thank you so much for watching. That's all for today's lesson, and I will see you soon for another lesson.